Coming up on this edition of Rock 11 Out Weekly, Metro is considering alternatives to its red line that can affect your rush hour commute, and they want to hear from you. Plus, we'll tell you about safety improvements to one crosswalk in the city. And fresh fruits and vegetables, it's time to buy local at the Rockville Farmers Market. More news, more often, right now. This is Rock 11 Out Weekly, so let's get into it. The Twinbrook Quarter project is shaping up, and now we know that Wegmans will be the lead retail anchor. It will be located at the corner of Halpine Road and Rockville Pike. The Twinbrook Quarter project will have 1,865 residential units, 431,440 square feet of office space, a maximum of 472,950 square feet of retail uses, and 9,000 square feet of entertainment venue. You can view their presentation and the entire meeting online at rockvillemd.gov and head to the Agenda Center and click on the TV icon next to the April 30th date. We asked, you answered, and we listened. Now, there are pedestrian safety improvements in the works at the intersection of Maryland Avenue and South Washington Street.
Also wanted to take the chance again to thank the residents. We couldn't have come up with as good a design if we hadn't had a really good two-way dialogue over quite some period of time. So it really was a team effort.
Rockville City Manager Rob Desperado moves forward with the pedestrian safety improvements that will include installing a median to break up the cross distance and create a refuge for people crossing Maryland Avenue, installing flashing beacons that you can activate before crossing Maryland Avenue, realigning the crosswalk to shorten the crossing distance, and trimming back foliage blocking South Maryland Avenue. The improvements are happening over the next 3 months. In the spring of 2019, city staff will have a meeting with residents to get a pulse of the effectiveness of the improvements. Metro wants to hear from you as they are looking into 2 alternatives for their red line service. The alternatives would increase service at the Shady Grove, Rockville, Twinbrook, and White Flint stations during rush hour and limit the number of trains that turn back at the Grosvenor-Strathmore station. The Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, or WMATA, wants riders to take a survey about their commute on the Red Line. Head to metroredline.questionpro.com by 5 p.m. on Monday, May 21st. WMATA's Board of Directors will review the surveys in July, and if any adjustments are approved, they wouldn't go in effect until December. For more information, head to rockvillereports.com and search Metro Red Line. Still to come on Rock 11 Out Weekly, classes in session, just in time for Historic Preservation Month. We'll find out more about the historic neighborhood of Newmark Commons right after this.
Buying locally, you get a lot fresher fruit, and also you actually know where it came from and who handled your fruit, and food safety is a big issue in some things. And we just enjoy doing what we're doing, getting up, and you actually see what you've done, and you're serving the public with good fresh fruit. Farmers markets, you also meet different people from different areas and different cultures, and that way you can bring the fresh fruit right to them and they can enjoy the same thing we can here at home.
May is Historic Preservation Month, and the National Trust for Historic Preservation's theme this year is This Place Matters. And in Rockville, the historic neighborhood of Newmark Commons matters. Here's Historic Preservation Planner Sheila Bashiri.
Hi, I'm Sheila Bashiri, Preservation Planner for the City of Rockville, and it's time to mark some history. According to the developer, Edmund J. Bennett, Newmark Commons is a 20th century village that's 1 foot in the future and a step back to a better time. Developed in 1968 on nearly 96 acres of trees, the natural setting of Newmark Commons was way ahead of its time. Inspired by the abundance of trees, Bennett decided to create a contemporary blend of nature and modern architecture, where trees, trails, winding roads, and a lake seamlessly coexisted with split-level single-family homes and townhouses. It was a refreshing change from the trend of post-World War II subdivisions that were based on rigid geometric designs. Fast forward 50 years, this unique design and close-knit community has earned Newmark Commons a place in history, not only in Rockville, but in the nation.
With this certificate of recognition, the City of Rockville honors and acknowledges the community's cultural, ethnic, demographic, and socioeconomic diversity reflected in its broad array of community activities.
Newmark Commons is a very unique community. It was one of the very first planned unit developments in the city of Rockville. That's why the National Park Service placed it on the National Register for Historic Places.
Newmark Commons reflects the spirit of inclusiveness for which our city has become well known.
And that's why Newmark Commons has made its mark on Rockville history. For Rock 11 Now, I'm Sheila Bashiri.
That's going to do it for this edition of Rock 11 Now Weekly. Remember, you can check out our latest happenings on our online newsletter at rockvillereports.com. And join in on the conversation and check out our posts by signing up for Nextdoor at nextdoor.com. And keep up with Rockville 11 by subscribing to our City of Rockville YouTube channel. And you can follow us on Twitter at Rockville 11, on Instagram at Rockville MD, and like us on Facebook. For the entire Rock 11 Now Weekly team, I'm Kathy Dantzler. Until next week, Rockville.